One of the most mysterious antagonists in Little Nightmares 2 is the Hunter. There is not much information written about him in his description, and there's not much we can use to go on about. That in turn makes him one of the most interesting characters to talk about and also discover his past. In today's video, I'll use all the information provided and attempt to theorize who the Hunter might be, what's his purpose, and what might be his backstory. Hi folks, I'm R, your narrator, and here's a video about who the Hunter is. Before we get into the video, make sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and beware, as there will be spoilers. Let's start off by going over the Hunter's backstory by examining some information provided to us about the Hunter. He's located in what seems to be in a remote island separated from the mainland by water, where the Pale City is, a place where all of its occupants are distorted by the TV transmissions and are under the control of the Eye through the powers of the Thin Man. The Wilderness, the name of this presumable island which the Hunter resides in, doesn't seem to have any occupants other than the Hunter, with several TVs far away from his residence, which Mono seemingly teleports through. So we can assume the Hunter is not under the influence of the TV, or at least the way the viewers are. In this place, we find a lot of traps, and even victims who are still in these traps. The traps include bear traps, suspending traps, and even in a concept art book, we can see dug-up traps with spikes within. There are also a lot of cliffs with cut-down bridges. The traps are made in a way to kill the victims, with many of the victims not being even visited, therefore it's safe to say the Hunter is maybe protecting himself against the other perpetrators, as he doesn't seem to want to trap the children in the same fashion of the janitor. But that can be argued, as we can find an intact Six imprisoned in the Hunter's room. Now looking at the Hunter's appearance, he wears a sack as a face covering with what seems to be a bullet hole on it. He has a long coat with boots, suited for hunting in the muddy wilderness. His right arm seems to be reattached back to his torso with cotton poking out. On some other photos, his lower torso seems to also have been stitched back together. He gasps and struggles to breathe when he moves, which might hint out that he suffers from some sort of facial injury affecting his respiratory system. All this information might suggest, in theory, that the Hunter is indeed stuck in a time loop alongside Mono and the other perpetrators. He might have died in each cycle in different ways, and as he's far away from the radio tower, maybe after each cycle he's not replenished to his original condition. But he is required to fix himself up again, being cursed with eternal life, but not self-recovery and healing abilities. In one of the concept arts, he is trapped in one of his own bear traps where Mono and Six shoot him in the same fashion they did in the shed in Little Nightmares 2. As many of you have commented, the bullet hole on his face sack might suggest he was shot on the face before. Maybe that's why he struggles to breathe, as his respiratory system has been impacted. His arm and torso might have been cut off and stitched back together, as we can also find circular saw and handsaws in the same shed. Maybe in previous cycles, Mono and Six used them to saw his arm off when he brought his arm in to unlock the door. Now let's talk about his personality traits. He might wear his face sack to avoid being seen, as he might have a deformed face. He's not like the other characters, however, having a face mask made for him, possibly by the doctor, as he might not be acquainted with them. After all, he has traps everywhere in this place to possibly protect himself. He seems to have a passion for taxidermy as well. We can even find a woman in the attic and a family sitting around a table. Maybe he does that to target his loneliness and isolation, as he's placed in a post-apocalyptic world all on his own. He also has a dog door where he's doing taxidermy, which Mono and Six used to exit the house. It's likely that he used to have dogs, which were often used for hunting, but the dogs have passed away by now. The old rusty shotgun, as suggested by the description, and his old-fashioned lantern-style flashlight, accompanied with absence of the dogs, might suggest that he's been stuck in the time loop for a long time now, as the dog or dogs have passed away and his equipment are very old-fashioned. They're not only old-fashioned, but they are also old and battered as well, which do suggest that they've been used for a long time. Keep all of this information in mind as we're going to dig a little deeper and expand in what his purpose is in this cryptic world. One old theory was that he traps children and sends them to the Ma. There's the painting of him in the Ma as well, in the ladies' quarters. Thanks for a commenter who pointed that out to me. So that suggests that he does have some sort of relationship with the Ma, the Eye, or at least the lady. But again, the creators might have scrapped the original lore, as they tend to take liberty in telling the story and altering it along the way, as evident from the comics getting cancelled. If this theory is correct, the hunter sends these children to the Ma to be prepared as food for the guests. But again, this place is very isolated, with not many children coming to this place. The entire backstory of where children come from is still a big mystery, but it's very unlikely for them to originate from the wilderness. Maybe the hunter traps the escapee children from the Ma and sends them back, or simply kills them, or let them die in the traps. The next theory is that he is an independent character from the Eye and the TV manipulations. He acts unwell, and as the description reads, his intentions are unclear. We get proper descriptions of the other antagonists and what their purpose is. But for the hunter, it's off-grid. Maybe the Eye can't reach him. After all, he's in a secluded island far from the Pale City and any TV. Maybe he resides in the wilderness alone, protecting himself from the viewers and the other perpetrators, as it might be evident from all the traps and the cut down bridges to cut any ties. We can also find a bunch of people who might be the viewers trapped in a suspending trap, so maybe he's just a survivor, free from the Eye's manipulations, stuck in a conundrum, shooting anyone outside whom he can't reach to trap, for his own safety. And for the final theory, which I personally think might be the most fitting, is that he's stuck in a time loop who dies over and over again, each time trying to put an end to the cycle by killing Mono. As I've theorized before, Mono is stuck in a time loop, and with him, everyone else, including Six and the antagonists, are stuck as well. Six is responsible to drop Mono for him to become the Thin Man, and the antagonists try relentlessly to stop Mono from reaching the radio tower, including his own older self, the Thin Man. One of these antagonists is the Hunter, who seems to be the least affected by the radio tower and its pulsating TV transmissions. That has some benefits and also some disadvantages. He gets to have free will and try different ways of stopping Mono, while he can't take advantage of healing and full recovery at the end of each cycle, like the rest of the antagonists. That is why he is torn in pieces and stitched up like a taxidermied figure. Next time we see him again in another cycle, maybe in Little Nightmares 3 if it does come out, he might have a reattached leg, as it might have been blown off by the shotgun used against them by Mono and Six. And that about does it for this video, folks. Hope you enjoyed it, and thanks for watching as always. You can let me know what you think about this video, let me know about any information that I might have overlooked, and also your theories down in the comment section below. As new games are coming out as well, I'm intending to make more videos about different video games, analyzing them, theorizing them, and explaining their stories. Let me know what video games you want me to make videos of, also down in the comment section below. For more, stay tuned right here by hitting the subscribe button and the notification bell. You can also follow me on Twitter, where you can send me direct messages. It's been your host Star. Till the next time, have a fantastic day.